step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Before the Horn podcast. I am your host, Dino, as well. Hosting with me, I got my boy, Khalil.
Sure, let's get it.
And I got my boy, Dede.
What's good?
Big last week from the NFL and college football. We've seen a lot through both of those. You already know our first two topics are going to be the recap of the NFL Week 6. We do it every episode. We got to get our recap in, as well as our recap of the college football Week 7. There was a lot that went down in those. We usually only talk about 5 big games. We're probably going to be talking about more than 5. There's no undefeated teams in the league no more at all. Every team at least has 1 loss, but there's only 5 teams that only have 1 loss in the NFL right now, and we're going to rank all 5 of them teams from worst to best. So we're going to get into that one. And then in our fourth topic, we're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to talk about who is the biggest threat to the NBA champion Denver Nuggets. We're going to definitely have to cover that because in my eyes, they're still one of the best teams in the league. A lot of people still think so, but who is a threat to take them out, to dethrone them? Let's get into it. Dave, kick us off.
All right, episode 23, man. Let's get it. You already know we're going to kick off with NFL Week 6, a recap, as we are currently doing this podcast. Dallas Cowboys are in LA taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, let's get it. First game, we were going to talk about a game that had a lot of questionable calls in it towards the end, as the Cleveland Browns knock off the San Francisco 49ers.
There's only one person I know that had this game on upset alert, and that was my boy Jalen. Shout out to my boy Jalen. We talk a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be honest, this was something that I didn't expect to happen. As we know, Cleveland played their third-string quarterback this week. They've been struggling on offense all season. So, I mean, with that stout defense that the 49ers have, I did not expect for this offense to even do a thing, which they really didn't do much. They only put up 19 points. It's not like their quarterback played any good. I'm going to be honest. The biggest thing I got from this game is it was just piss poor offensive play by the 49ers. I mean, Brock Purdy didn't really play too good. It seemed like especially once Christian McCaffrey got hurt and Deebo Samuel got hurt, it was like he didn't know what to do after that. Brandon Ayuk, he tried to pick up for what they lacked. He ended up getting 4 catches for 76 yards. But I'm going to be honest, they did take a lot of beatings in their offense, especially with pretty sure Trent Williams went down too. He ended up messing up his ankle late in the game, but it was looking bad on offense for the 49ers. I think that was the biggest edge that Cleveland got on them. And I'm going to be honest, they went and capitalized on everything that was given to them. I'm going to be honest. So, I mean, hats off to the Cleveland Browns for playing a great game on defense and a good enough game on offense to get the win. I mean, I'm not going to say too much about their offense because their offense didn't do much, but they did play a pretty stout defensive game, and that's what ultimately got them to this dub.
My biggest takeaway from this game is Brock Purdy is not that guy. I mean, but we knew that already. Most quarterbacks, when their best players go down, they find ways to pull out dubs, and he looked horrible once he lost Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuels. He only had 125 total passing yards right there. That's not going to get it done, especially against this good defense. And yeah, people want to say Cleveland has, one of the best pass defenses in history right now, and they're on pace for that. But when you really look at it, like, 1, receivers couldn't get open, and 2, he wasn't throwing the ball. He wasn't efficient at all, 12 for 27. That's not going to get it done. 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That you just can't win like that. And this is my whole knock on Brock Purdy. Everybody want to praise Brock Purdy and says he's MVP candidate and all that. He's not. Like, it's all the help around him. And I've been saying that since last year. It's not him. It's everything that they got around him. All Kyle Shanahan do is find easy ways to get playmakers in football, and he gets into them and let them make plays. And when he loses those playmakers, he can't throw receivers open. He can't create plays for receivers when their plays need to be created. So that was my biggest takeaway from this game, honestly.
Honestly, it's a lot of stuff you can say about this game. First, let's say Cleveland Browns defense, they are good. But this is just a bad game execution-wise by the Niners offense. They just couldn't get nothing going. You guys both already talked about Brock Purdy, and you guys didn't mention that. I mean, he got sacked 3 times. He had a QBR of 40. That's bad. That's probably the worst we've seen out of his career, honestly. Mention him only throwing for 125 yards, and he didn't have nothing else to do, honestly, when McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel went down. Kittle really didn't do anything. He only had 1 catch for 1 yard. I mean, Ayuk tried to pick up the slack, but it's nothing they could do. The Browns defense capitalized on everything the Niners couldn't do on offense. And that was a simple takeaway from this game. Now, again, there were some questionable calls on that last drive where Cleveland got the game-leading field goal. That was not a PI or a holding call on Travarius Ward. I disagree with those. Those are 2 bad calls. To Sean Gibson, that was not unnecessary roughness. That was a clean hit. It was shoulder to shoulder. He didn't lead with the helmet or the crown of his helmet. And then you go, the Browns get the game leading field goal. After that, the Niners, they drive down the field. You can't lie. They drove down the field. But then Jake Moody missed a game-winning field goal. And that's got the Browns winning. So, honestly, what can we take away from this game? Honestly, I would just say, like, the Browns just capitalized on the Niners' lack of execution on offense.
Why did they not execute? Because the quarterback didn't do shit most of the game. He had 100 yards going into that last drive.
Yeah, now I don't want to hear the weather as an excuse. It rained in a lot of games.
I mean,
so,
I'm
not fans chill out.
You can't use the weather as an excuse. I mean, you let PJ Walker have more passing yards than you. So, I mean,
yeah. But was the game lost on the hands of him or by the hands of that kicker? Or should I say,
if you play any better than what you played, it probably don't come down.
You have to be in that situation.
You're right. I mean, I think he had a pretty good. I think he had a pretty good last drive, but yeah, he played piss poor. Like that's gonna lead to a L.
It was bad.
Like once Christian McCaffrey went out, you essentially had no offense. So,
honestly, all right. Moving on to the next thing we're gonna cover. This surprised a lot of people. As the New York Jets, they took home field advantage and they stunned the visiting Philadelphia Eagles 20-14.
I mean, man, y'all know a game that broke my heart, man. I mean, the Eagles was in the driver's seat all game, and they just, they got into their own way. I mean, 4 turnovers to none. They didn't force a single turnover, but the defense played great. Don't get me wrong, the defense played great. They held their players to very minimum yardage. I mean, Zach Wilson couldn't get anything going. He also had a QBR of 39. So it's not like Zach Wilson dotted us up, man. We gave them this win. Literally, that last touchdown was literally given to them. Like, they played 2-hand touch. It was supposed to get given to them because our offense was supposed to go down there and make a play. Now, Jalen Hurts. Golly, Jalen Hurts. Bro, that game was like a roller coaster. It was like some drives you wanted to do good, and then the next drive you want to throw a pick, almost a pick 6. I mean, you know, Dre Swift did have the fumble, but it was just sloppy play offensively. That's what's going to lead to a L every time. I mean, you had playmakers that was making plays. A.J. Brown went out there and got another 130. He's the first player in Eagles history to have 4 games straight with over 120 receiving yards. I mean, he's been balling. I mean, other than the first 2 weeks of the season, he's been balling. And, I mean, what else could you ask for? You can't go out there and turn the ball over like that. 3 turnovers. He has 7 turnovers on the season. He had 6 all season last year. This is not a good start. This is not what's going to bring wins. And for the first game of this gauntlet that we're going to have for the next 7 weeks, this is not a good performance. So, I mean, something's going to have to shake up. They're going to have to go in. They're going to have to hit the practice field and, you know, sharpen up on a lot of things. But we gave this one to the Jets.
Actually, he has 8 turnovers on the season. He has 1 fumble loss. But
I meant picks, not turnovers, picks. He has 7 picks. My bad.
But I mean, this has been my issue with the Eagles all year, and people want to argue they undefeated. But hey, man, you throw 3 interceptions, and Jets are missing their 2 best corners in Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, and you still throw 3 interceptions. You pass the ball 45 times to 22 rushing yards. That's just not going to get it done. I'm sorry, but Jalen Hurts is not that guy to lead the offense in passing without the run game. The run game creates the passing game for this team. If you can't run the football, y'all become very one-dimensional. I don't want to hear the excuse that y'all lost Lane Johnson So y'all couldn't run the ball. I mean, a lot of offensive linemen go down. You still have to find a way to establish a run game and get some type of run game going. The issue is y'all peaked in the first half and are barely skating by right now with the teams y'all are playing. Yes, I get it that y'all beat some teams, but y'all don't really have too many dominant wins. And that's my issue when it comes to this Eagles team is that y'all not dominating these teams, whether it's the Rams. Y'all had the Rams in the game into the fourth quarter. Y'all kicked 2 field goals to make it 23-14, but it was 17-14 for most of that game. And then when you look at the other teams that they played, y'all best friends probably Bucks. Patriots had a chance to win a game at the end of the game. Minnesota had a chance to win a game. So y'all keeping these teams in it, and y'all got a gauntlet coming up. Y'all next 8 games are probably the toughest 8 games. Like I probably got y'all going 5-3 at best with those 8 games that y'all going at. That's best case scenario for y'all, if I'm being honest. But like I said, that pass defense is suspect. Y'all couldn't force Zach Wilson to turn the ball out. I'm talking about Zach Wilson. Y'all could not get him to turn the ball over. Y'all got some issues there. And like I was saying, bro, it's just very concerning. Y'all have some flaws that's been showing all year. The only reason why, y'all nobody has said anything about them, or if somebody says anything, y'all call them a hater, is because y'all win. But now when y'all lose to an inferior opponent, those flaws show up so much more. So y'all need to get it together, especially within these next 8-game stretch, or y'all could be fighting for that division when it comes at the end of this 8-game stretch.
You say when the running game isn't going for Eagles that Jalen Hurts isn't a successful passer. That's actually false. We've seen it already a couple times this year. So just get that out, debunk that, please. Against the Commanders, against the Vikings, we've seen
y'all had a very good running game, and y'all had 4 turnovers against the Commanders. I mean, against the Vikings.
We had a solid running game. It doesn't matter. Jalen Hurts still can throw the
ball. He still can throw the ball.
With them 300 yards. Y'all running game is what running game is what creates y'all passing game.
The Jets have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. The Eagles were even.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying he's a bad passer.
The Eagles' emphasis wasn't even to run the ball. The Eagles' emphasis was to pass the ball with their 2 starting corners out. Their emphasis was not to run the ball. You got to mix the run, but their emphasis was not to run the ball.
Where did that get you?
They shut the run down.
Y'all only ran it 22 times.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Swift only touched the ball 10 times. What are y'all going to do?
Because the run game was ineffective.
Y'all got to get
the run game was ineffective.
Okay,
man. Look, ain't nobody calling you a hater.
In the second half.
You're right. I'm gonna address that. Right. So, Eagles, y'all honestly had the Jets this win. You guys gave the Jets this win. It's no Zach Wilson beat you guys. The Eagles literally beat themselves. 3 interceptions by Jalen Hurts. 2 of those weren't his fault. But that last one, when he forced it to Goddard, that was just bad to watch. And honestly, whoever called that a pass play with under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter where the Jets only had 2 timeouts, that was just bad all around. Whoever called that play, your job needs to be reevaluated. All in all, the run game was not going. He was playing with the pass the ball with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner out. The Jets defense, you got to respect it. This is Robert Saleh we talk about, a great defensive head coach. People must have forgot that. And they have great players on that defense. I know your 2 starting corners are out, but you still have other players on that defense that can ball out. The Jets just did great, taking the Eagles' run game away. They forced Hurts to throw the ball. I don't know what Khalil's talking about, saying Hurts isn't a good passer. He's a good passer.
I didn't say
he can't win the game completely by passing.
Y'all run the ball to create your passing game. That's your offense. It's always been your offense.
Yeah, I mean, we have a running quarterback. I mean, but hey, I'm not making any excuses. The Eagles simply lost this game, but they didn't. They beat themselves more than the Jets beat them. That's just facts. The Eagles handed this game to the Jets. I mean, Garrett wasn't too crazy.
It was. Yeah. If you watch the game, it was nothing more that was given to them other than that. They couldn't get nothing. Game. They couldn't get a single thing going on offense. They couldn't get a single thing going on offense. And without the turnovers, our offense was still slashing them, minus the run game. We didn't get nothing going running the ball.
Yeah,
but we still passed the ball pretty good.
Here's my thing.
That's why I'm debunking that Jalen Hurts isn't a passer. I don't get that.
I never said Jalen Hurts wasn't a passer. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, y'all only put up 14 points. That's
understandable. And that's disgusting. I understand.
Y'all only gave 14 points. It doesn't matter if y'all offense went up and down the field all day. Y'all only scored 14 points.
That's a fact. That's we couldn't get into the end zone, and the turnovers killed us. I mean, that's the proof in the pudding.
That's literally what I said. But the Eagles beat themselves.
But you sitting there making it seem like we one-dimensional as hell and we couldn't do nothing with it.
I
Like,
never
bro,
said y'all was
we
one-dimensional.
moved the ball. We just
But-
kept stepping on our own foot by turnovers, bro.
But
We
when
gave
I'm
the ball
saying-
to them 4 times.
I'm not saying you're one-dimensional. I'm saying is your offense is flowing at its best when y'all run the ball to pass the football. That's when Jalen Hurts is at his best. When the running game is going, the play action game is going, they stack the box, you get the ball to AJ Brown. That's just how your offense been going all year. This has been y'all
all year, but
the
run game was enough. Okay, yes, but Hurts still had a pretty good day passing the ball.
No,
Besides the turnovers, he didn't.
There's no excuse for it.
I just said besides the interceptions.
Bro, at the end of the day, y'all only got in the end zone twice.
I understand that. I'm not making any excuses. I just said it.
So what are you trying to say then?
I'm trying to debunk. I'm trying to debunk it. You're saying I'm trying to debunk it. I'm not defending. I'm not defending. Give me a second. I know. I'm saying. I'm saying, bro. Let me talk. Damn.
Be critical.
Let me talk. I'm being critical. The Eagles didn't execute on offense with the turnovers. They handed the Jets this game, but I'm debunking your statement saying when the run game is going, Hurts isn't a good passer. That is false. We've seen it last year multiple times. We've seen it so far this year a couple of games.
When did we see it? Y'all rushed for at least like 150 every damn game. Y'all had at least 100 yards every single game. So what are you talking about? Y'all went over 200 like 3 times this year. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Hurts.
But that's not saying
passing yards look good. Yes. But that running game is what established y'all passing game. That's what creates the open windows for AJ Brown and Devontae Adams. Is the reason.
I mean, that's what 90% of offenses though.
What happened?
That's what 90% of offenses though, bro. Like that's football 101.
That's not every team's philosophy. That's not the Chiefs.
No, not every team.
That's not the Buffalo Bills philosophy.
I said 90 for a reason. There's the Buffalo Bills out there. There is, you know what I'm saying? I know
the Dolphins. All these teams, they can pass the ball. But for y'all in the
Eagles can't pass the ball.
No, I'm not saying y'all can't pass the ball, but y'all offense is best effective when y'all running the football. That's what made y'all so dangerous last year, was y'all ability to run the football to create open passing lanes for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. But when y'all not running the football effectively, those windows are not there. They're not stacking the box.
Moving on to the next game, we saw the Cincinnati Bengals defeat the Seattle Seahawks 17-13.
I'm gonna be honest, the Bengals squeaked away with this win, bro. If it wasn't for Seattle's, sloppy play and then mishaps on defense, the couple mishaps they had on defense, they would have won this game, bro. Seattle, this is another team that I felt like just gave it to Cincinnati. I'm gonna be honest with you, they gave them that win. Geno Smith, I mean, if you look at the box score, it shows he threw for over 320. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. But if you watch the game, he didn't have the best performance. I mean, his picks was costly at costly moments. He threw a pick in the end zone, in the red zone, which was costly. I think was that at the end of the half. Like, he needed to make plays when they were supposed to be made, and he didn't do that. You know what I mean? Tyler Lockett came out there and made some big catches. I'm going to be honest, that's the number one on this offense. DK, man, you too big to be looking that soft, bro. Like, I don't know what's up with DK this season. Him and his attitude, his little sissy fits, and all that.
You see he paying his nails?
Yeah, first of all, bro, you too damn big to be acting like that, bro. It don't matter what. It don't matter if you a grown man or not. You too big to be acting like that, bro. You should be acting like Calvin Johnson, real humble and Marston people. That's it. Like, I don't understand what your issue is, bro. You're supposed to be the number one receiver on this team, and you have not produced. It's not going well. You've been very inconsistent. Now, Tyler Lockett's that guy, and he's been making plays for that offense since he got there. I don't know why they can't get over the hump. I don't know if it's Geno not calling back, but if Seattle wants a chance at doing anything, especially in their division, they're gonna have to straighten that up. The Bengals, on the other hand, they're not gonna squeak away wins like this all the time. I'm gonna be honest. It's not gonna happen. I mean, it's shown that their division isn't the toughest in the league at the moment, but they're still very competitive within each other. And if y'all want any chance, which I don't think they really have that much of a chance at all to even compete in the division anymore, but if they want any chance, they got to get better offensively, man. These shaky roller coaster up and down games. One game you want to have a great game, the next game it doesn't look too good, rushing or passing. this is not. I mean, as a team, y'all got 48 yards rushing the ball. That's not even a recipe for a win. I'm gonna be honest with you. 48 yards rushing, it don't matter what team you is not a recipe for a win. I'm gonna be honest with you. But they still got it done. They still squeaked it away. So kudos to them.
It comes down to red zone efficiency. There was 1 for 5 in the red zone. They just, if Pete Carroll stops trying to, go big, go for touchdowns, and just kick field goals, they would have won this game. I mean, the defense balled out. They controlled time of possession 35-23, I think, 24.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it just comes down to red zone efficiency. You get in the red zone and you don't get points out of it, you're not going to win a game. And that's just the simplest way I could put it. That's really what it came down to. Gino had a decent day. He did turn over the football a little bit. He did look a little shaky in the pocket. He kept retreating. He kind of had happy feet within the pocket, but I think this is more on Seattle because Seattle defense played well enough. Their execution on offense just couldn't get it done when it needed to get done.
Honestly, yeah, that's really what it came down to. Seattle could not execute in the red zone. I was literally going to mention that stat. 1-5 in the red zone. That's just bad. But again, Gino had a solid game besides those 2 picks. But we got to see more Metcalf showing up on the stat sheet. 4 catches for 69 yards and then unnecessary tactics that was stupid. Pushing players and stuff. I agree with Dino. Metcalf has been inconsistent his whole career, in my opinion. He's showing flashes, but he has not, in my opinion, panned out what he was supposed to be. Maybe I'm just set expectations on him, but I mean, at the draft, look at him. He's a specimen. He's supposed to be the next Calvin Johnson, but hasn't turned out to be. Lockett is the number 1 option on that offense. We saw a bit of a Kenneth Gainwell sighting, but honestly, it just came down to Seattle turned the ball over, not executing the red zone. And honestly, Seattle did give this game to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been very inconsistent this whole year. They've been squeaking by, and they squeak by with this one for sure. So, I mean, they got the win of it today. So they go 3-3. All right, moving on to the next game we're going to talk about. The Buffalo Bills. They escaped as well as they defeated the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football 14-9 in a surprising game.
Ooh, that's something that we all talked about right after the game in the chat. Just us 3. Hey, Tyrod Taylor didn't look bad, bro. He didn't look bad. I'm going to start off with the Bills, though. First of all, I mean, they did squeak away with this game. I'm not going to lie. Watching this game, I was sitting there bro, are y'all going to get something going on offense? Really, bro? I mean, y'all ended up, they ended up making couple big plays here and there. They ended up making plays at the end of the game when it was needed. But, come on, bro. What happened? What happened in these first 3 quarters? They didn't really look too good at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, y'all need to get something going, bro. The Bills is another team that's very up and down. They are a very roller coaster team. I'm going to be honest with you. One week they want to play great and they want to be one of the top teams in the league. And the next week they want to squeak away against the Giants. Now, talking about the Giants, bro, Saquon came back, rushed for 93 yards. That's what they need out of Saquon. If they want any chance on winning games, I'm not going to say competing because they ain't damn sure competing, even though they competed last night. They did compete last night. Don't get me wrong. They brought it down to the last play. But I'm going to be honest, Tyrod Taylor's not a last play type of guy. What a lot of people don't understand is Tyrod Taylor is actually a legit winner. People forget, before Josh Allen, he brought the Bills to their first playoff appearance in 23 years? Yep. Tyrod Taylor is an actual legit winner. He knows how to win games. He might not be the most efficient passer. He may not be the fastest, even though we know he got wheels. He's not the fastest. But he can still get it done. He can still win games. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they should move forward with Tyrod Taylor, if you ask me.
I look at this game. I look at this game as tell of 2 halves, honestly. First half, Buffalo essentially couldn't get nothing going. Their possessions in the first half went punt, fumble, punt, missed field goal, interception. That's what they did in the first half. And the good thing is they was playing a bad team in the Giants. The Giants, defense played as well as they could get. But they had that blunder at the end of the first half where they ran the football and just essentially ran out of time and missed out on points. Whether it was a touchdown or a field goal, you missed out on points just because you're going to run the ball with no timeouts left and, not get back up in time to spike the ball. So you're going to have up 6-0 instead of it being 9-0 or even 13-0, So then you flip it over to the second half. Giants come out there and punt. Buffalo come out, get the ball. They go on a 17-play drive that takes up almost 10 minutes of clock, put a touchdown in there, very efficient. Then come back out, force Giants to a field goal, go back down, score another touchdown with 12-play, 75-yard drive. And that essentially put them up 14-9. And from that point on, they still had a game. At the end of the game, you throw the pass to the end zone, PI on Darren Waller, you get one shot, no time down from the one. And I'm gonna be honest, it looked like a hold, but I get why they don't call it. You're in Buffalo. Buffalo gets the call, play through it, kind of contact, whatever. But I feel like it was just coaching mishaps that essentially lost them the game. You did not execute at the end of the first half, and then you don't execute at the end of this game, and that's where you lost the game at.
It's a fact.
Couldn't agree anymore. Literally, I was gonna bring up every point about how the Giants looked really good in the first half, even though they only put up 6 points. They really missed that opportunity at the end of the second quarter when Tyrod checked to a run play. That was bad. And Brian Daboll gave him an earful for that. As a head coach, that is correct, because they would definitely probably execute it. The game was in their favor that whole first half. They come out the second half, only put up 3 points. And, you think about it, they had the run game going in the second half. They just couldn't get down and score more. They weren't finishing drives. That's what it was. And I agree. Again, people say I'm a Daniel Jones hater. I just tell it how I see it. The offense looks better with Tyrod. Maybe I'm not going to overreact. Maybe it's just the first game. Who knows? But it looks more efficient and it flows better with Tyrod. Maybe Tyrod has better anticipation or awareness. Again, he doesn't have the strongest arm. He is the most accurate. He is the most fastest, like Dino said. But he's a winner. He gets the job done. He almost got a job done last night. If it wasn't for a missed call. Now, the Giants, they got lucky. They didn't get lucky. They got a call favored their way when they got that PI at the end of the game. The rest put the ball at the 1 yard line. It should have been 2 PIs, honestly. That was a hold on Darren Waller by Taron Johnson, but the refs let it play out, which it shouldn't have. That should have been a hold. But at the end of the day, Buffalo just executed better in the second half. Josh Allen, he has to be better, honestly. I mean, he threw for under 200 yards. We're not going to talk about that, though. But James Cook had a solid game. Stephon Diggs went sicko. I mean, he had more than half of Josh Allen's passing yards, but we got to see other receivers step up. But, hey, Buffalo defense handled business in the second half. The Giants just couldn't execute. That's why the Bills got the win.
Josh Allen, he's still that guy because he got the win, though, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're not going to talk about that. All right, moving into the next game. We saw the Detroit Lions defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-6.
I'm gonna be honest. This is another game I went back and forth on, but my prediction came out right. I went with Detroit. They went out and got the dub. I liked what I see from Amon-Ra St. Brown. He showed why he's definitely a number 1 receiver in the league. I liked what I see from Jameson Williams, man, coming back after suspension, coming and get a TD. I like seeing that, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just defeating the odds, defying the odds. Baker Mayfield, he looked decent and wasn't that good, but it wasn't good enough for a win. Both teams really didn't rush the ball too much. Kind of was just an air out game. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I feel like Tampa probably would have did better if they could, establish the run game.
Yeah, Bucks offense just really couldn't get anything going. They did not really look that good offensively, and Detroit looked decent. Amon-Ra had him a day. He had over 120 yards receiving on 12 catches. But besides him and besides the one big play from Jameson Williams, there's really nothing more. Jameson Williams had 45 yards on that one catch. He had another catch for 8 yards. But besides that, I just think the Tampa Bay Bucks just came out very slow coming off the bye. They look very I don't know if they got too much rest over the bye or something, but they just did not look effective. They did not have that same sense of urgency that the Detroit Lions did. Bucks defense did a good job of shutting down that run game. 22 carries on 40 yards. That's under 2 yards per carry. So they did a very good job at that. But you let Jared Goff throw for 353 and 2 tutties, and that's essentially what you got beat, especially when that offense couldn't get anything going.
Well, let's put some respect on Jared Goff. I'm not gonna lie. I told you this team was gonna win this division. Jared Goff has almost 1,700 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He looked pretty good this year. And I've said this, Jared Goff is arguably a top 10 quarterback. In my opinion, he's right here at 12 or 11. He's better than a lot of these quarterbacks that are ranked in the top 10 or y'all think should be in the top 10, like Derek Carr. But Jared Goff's looked phenomenal this game. Great game by Amon-Ra St. Brown. They couldn't really get the run game going. They lost David Montgomery to injury. But, the Lions look pretty good, especially on defense with a lot of players injured in that secondary. They're still looking like a solid team. But maybe they just capitalized on what Tampa Bay couldn't do on offense. They did look like they had no sense of urgency. They couldn't execute. That they came up with the Bible looking really slow, like Khalil said. So maybe we'll see the Bucs pick it up next week. But regardless, Detroit got the win.
Lions only beat one legit playoff team, but go ahead. Go on.
Still 5-1.
Go on.
I'm moving on to the next game. We saw the last game of the London series as the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Tennessee Titans 24-16.
Early game, I like that the Ravens came out to play. Lamar had a pretty good game. He came out, passed for about 220. That's what you need to have from him. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Titans, though, man. Let's talk about the Titans. The Titans look very bad. They look very bad as a team, not only as an offense, but as a team in a whole. Ryan Tannehill, he's a bad quarterback. I thought they should have moved off of him a couple years ago. They drafted quarterbacks 2 years in a row, didn't use either one of them. They ended up putting Malik Willis in the game, who essentially
Tannehill got hurt.
Huh?
Because Tannehill got hurt.
Yeah, I know Tannehill got hurt, but they ended up putting Malik Willis in the game after that. And Malik Willis looked better than Tannehill did that whole game. Even though he only threw 5 passes, he looked better than Tannehill, if you ask me. Derrick Henry's still Derrick Henry. I like seeing that he got 97 rushing yards on 12 carries. Me and Khalil been talking about this for the longest, so how he just gets the ball a million times. That's the reason why he carries so much. But I like seeing what he did on 12 carries. That was great. A good team win from the Ravens. I still want to see more out of their playmakers. Their playmakers aren't really playmakers. They only got Lamar, if you ask me. But I still got to see more out of that. But good win by the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a good win by Ravens. I'm still not a fan of what I've been seeing from the Ravens this year. I don't know. Something.
Oh, not at all.
Something just seems off. They only scored 1 touchdown. Rest came off of field goals. But I don't know. This Raven team just look off. Somebody was calling for Lamar MVP this year. I don't see it happening.
Oh man, bro, don't rub it in my face. Your MVP is not gonna be MVP either.
These are your takes, bro. These are your takes. I'm just using your words.
Your MVP is not gonna be MVP either.
I'm just using
both
your
y'all takes. Both of y'all takes me jokes.
Both of our MVPs is out already. It's a dub.
I'm gonna say mine is out, but
man, yours is out.
Nah,
he's out.
Mine's not.
We're gonna
out. We're gonna talk
about. I'm taking Jared Goff over him.
We're gonna talk about him anyway. Yeah, like I was saying, like Ravens offense just haven't looked that good. They did what they had to do, got the job done against a not good Titans team at the end of the day. So I don't have no big takeaways from this game. I just think the offense needs to be better if they actually want to compete in the AFC.
Honestly, when Justin Tucker scores 18 points alone from this game, it shows what your offense really did. The offense didn't do too much, honestly. Lamar Jackson was your leading passer, obviously, because he played the whole game at quarterback. He was your leading rusher. So, I mean, I was surprised the Ravens didn't get more on the ground. Their playmakers need to be better. Like Dino said, I mean, I want to see more from Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, Aguilar. I mean, Aguilar drops everything that's thrown his way, and Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman. They have solid like wide receiver twos, wide receiver number threes in the top 5, top 3 tight end, in my opinion. But they need to just put it all together. I don't know. This Ravens offense has looked very lackluster this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's new offensive coordinator, Tom Monken, coming over from Georgia, but they need to figure it out. If they were playing a better Tennessee Titans team, if they were playing a better team in general, the Ravens would have lost this game. The offense just didn't look good at all, but the Titans offense didn't look good either. It looked worse. Y'all know I think Ryan Tannehill is trash. I mean, he got a couple surprise wins under his belt this year, but he looked bad. I mean, he had a bad injury, so praise up to him. But they're setting Malik Willis up to fail. I mean, he came in the game. He looked okay, but I still feel like this offense, they're going to tailor the offense to him, but they're setting this man up to fail. So he'll be taking the reins going forward. But Derrick Henry, not overrated, had almost 100 yards rushing, only on 12 carries and a touchdown. We're not going to talk about that. But the Titans receivers, they're very lackluster. So D-Hop only had 1 catch for 20 yards.
Just to put it out there, 63 of those yards came off from 1 carry. So
okay, it still counts towards your total.
But no, I mean, Derrick Henry, he does that, but most of his other carries are not that much. But you know, that's your guy.
All right, moving on to the next game. We saw the Washington Commanders take down the Atlanta Falcons 24-16.
I picked Atlanta to win this game at home, man. It sucks to see that they ended up losing this, but I mean, let's be real. This offense honestly isn't as bad as I thought they was, minus Desmond Ritter. See, Desmond Ritter killed this offense. I'm sorry. They was moving the ball. They was actually moving the ball, and Desmond Ritter killed their drives every single time. They had a chance to win this game. Desmond Ritter killed their drive. This is another game that was given to a team. I'm going to be honest with you. This was given to Washington. Now, it seems like Washington was in the driver's seat all game, but they was in the driver's seat because of field position and turnovers. That is literally the reason why. It didn't look good for them at all. I mean, I liked what I seen out of Drake London. He comes out and gives you 123. We've been waiting for that all year. Finally, you come out and be a number one receiver. I like to see it. But Desmond Ritter, man, you got to clean up these turnovers, bro. Especially when y'all can't get the run game going. Y'all got to clean up these turnovers. This is going to be losing streak. This is going to be a losing streak going on and on and on.
Commanders did exactly what they needed to do to win this game, put the ball in Desmond Ritter's hands, and that's how you're going to win this game. You stop that run game, you make Desmond Ritter beat y'all, and you rely on your defense to get the job done, and that's exactly what they did. They forced 3 turnovers, and when they had to have it, when the defense had to have it, had to get a stop late in the game, that's exactly what they did. They forced the interception, turned the ball over on downs, and then forced another interception, and that's your ball game right there. And I picked this Washington Commanders team to win off the strength of their defense, and they did exactly what they had to do when it came down to it. That defensive line showed up and they played big.
Yeah, I picked Washington to win this game as well. And like me and Khalil said, when you take away Atlanta's run game, make Desmond Ritter throw the ball, you're going to probably win this game. Ritter had over 300 yards passing for the second game in a row, but those 3 interceptions were very costly. It cost the Falcons this game in multiple aspects. Arthur Smith did not look happy with some of the passes that Ritter was throwing. Like Dino said, hey, Drake London, he showed up, 9 catches, $125, and Kyle Pitts had a touchdown. Love to see them two get the ball and execute. Just wish to see Bijan and Algier go off more, but that didn't happen. Sam Howell had a pretty efficient game, threw 3 touchdowns. McLaurin had over 80 yards receiving. They couldn't get the run game going, but again, Washington, they could capitalize off of Atlanta turnovers, and that's what got them to win at the end of the day. All right, moving on into the next game. We saw Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. They defeated the Chicago Bears 19-13 without Justin Jefferson.
I can't even say that if Justin Fields would have played the whole game, if they would have won. I mean, even with Justin Fields on the field, they did not look like a good football team. Both of these teams look like both of these teams look exactly like what's wrong with them. The Bears look like a bad team like they looked all year, and the Vikings look like a team that was missing a superstar player. That's exactly what it looked like from both teams. It's just the Bears just played a lot worse than the Vikings did. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like the play from either one of these teams. Both quarterbacks looked lackluster, even though one only played half. The second quarterback that came in, he wasn't even too good either. This wasn't really an entertaining game, if you ask me. A lot of missed opportunities, a lot of just lackluster play from both teams, if you ask me. But the Vikings ended up getting the job done, so they moved to 2-4.
Expecting a bigger game out of KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison did have a touchdown, but they didn't really get anything going in the pass game. But when you face a no-name backup quarterback, all respect to their backup, he's just not nobody people know. You're supposed to pull out and win a game like that. They did. They was pretty much in control of this game for most of it, up 19-6. Chicago did score a fourth quarter touchdown, but Vikings was pretty much in control of this game for most of this game.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting more from this game. Not really on the Bears' part, but more from the Vikings. I mean, I was saying that hopefully Osborne, Addison, and Hawkinson can step up. I mean, they all did a little bit of something, but wasn't nothing too crazy. Alexander Madison didn't do nothing on the ground too much. This is just the Vikings just winning because the Bears' offense was lackluster. And like Dino said, even if Justin Fields played this game, I still think they would have lost this game. Justin Fields did not look good at all before he got injured and left this game. This Bears team just looked bad. I mean, they had a convincing win against the Commanders, but after that, not really too high on them. There's no DJ Moore sighting. We continue to see not a Darnell Mooney sighting. Cole Kmet even had a quiet game. So Vikings got the win regardless. They stay alive in that weak division. All right, moving on into the next game. We saw the Houston Texans defend home turf as they defeated the New Orleans Saints 20-13.
Oh, how disappointing in some Saints. I'm not even going to say the whole Saints. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say more the coaching staff. What a terrible offensive coordinator. Now, again, the box score may look great. You guys had over 400 in total yards of offense. That's great. But, I mean, most of that offense came off of big plays, off of busted coverages. I'm going to be honest with you. The rest of it was just piss poor offensive calling, bro. It wasn't even, I'm not going to put it on the players at all. That offensive coordinator is terrible, bro. He doesn't pick on nobody. I mean, this is not a great defense that you're going against. It's not the worst defense, but it's not the best. And we know that the offense is a little lackluster, but I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, your top receiver was Salave was the top receiver, but Rashid Shaheed had the touchdown. But either way, this is a game that I was expecting them to win. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting Houston to come out and actually win, but 2 costly turnovers, that'll do it for you.
It's terrible when it comes to pretty much 35 yards in the end. They play at calling is horrible. The execution is horrible. You go 0 for 3 in the red zone, 2 missed field goals. It's blame to go around for everybody. When you look at, the play calling needs to be better. It has to be better, but the execution has to be better on the plays that is called. At the end of the day, you need to stop putting a game in a rookie kicker's hand. Rookie kicker did miss a 53-yarder, and then you missed a 29-yarder. That is so inexcusable to miss a 29-yarder. This game could have went a lot different, especially down the stretch. If that's a chip shot for anybody, that's a chip shot. But this offense looks good from 20 to 20. 20 to 20, they could get the ball, they could draw the ball, they could get the ball downfield. They have no problems moving the football, especially since they have Alvin Kamara back. They have playmakers with Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Taysom Hill, Michael Thomas. They have playmakers all over the field. The issue is execution when it gets tight. When those windows get tight, they can't seem to extend drives, keep drives going, and put points on the board. And that's been their biggest problem all year. And that's why I've been calling for a new offensive coordinator. It sucks, there's no moves to be made this week because they got a quick turnaround. They got to play a Thursday night football game. But if they come out and look horrible like they've been looking for most of the season on Thursday night, they need to figure out somebody else to start calling plays at this point.
Just like I've been saying since the beginning of the year, the Saints offense continues to look lackluster. But today, it wasn't on their quarterback or lack of execution. It was their offensive coordinator, like we all said.
And lack of execution as well. It was lack of execution as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, bet. So now I can grill Derek Carr.
I don't know,
are you allowing me to?
They look like they did what they were supposed to do.
Exactly. I don't think it was like an execution.
No, it's they can't extend drives when drives need it. It's the third downs. It's the red zone efficiency. You can't go 0 for 3 in the red zone. Cannot get it done. That there's no excuse to go 0 for 3 in a red zone.
I agree with that.
At the end of the day, you have to put points on the board. You have to score touchdowns. At the end of the day, what was their third? Hold on. What was their third? 6 for 15, third down, 0 for 2, fourth down. That's just not going to get it done at the end of the day in the NFL. I'm sorry. Like, the execution has to be. I
agree.
Play calling has to be better, but execution has to be better as well. You have Michael Thomas for a reason. Use Michael Thomas. At the end of the day, third and shorts, you should look Michael Thomas' way. Like, going to catch the ball if you get the ball in his hands. So, like, I don't know why you don't use him and stuff like that. It's execution as well as play calling.
I mean, honestly, I'm not really gonna put this game on Derek Carr too much. I'm really not. I'm not gonna put on Alvin Kamara. I'm not gonna put on Olave. I'm not gonna put on none of the playmakers on offense. I'm not gonna put this on the Saints defense. They actually played pretty good. Like we all predicted, they forced CJ Stroud to throw a pick. But again, I'm gonna say it's the lack of bad play calling. I'm sorry?
He fumbled the interception, bro.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bro.
He did fumble that.
And then they went down and scored.
And they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that did happen. But still, regardless, it's an interception. They forced it. I mean, I know they didn't get the ball. They didn't complete the interception, but whatever, man. All I'm gonna say is, man, the Saints offensive coordinator, he sucks. He's trash. He's trash, right? He's right there with Derek Carr. They're both trash. Both go in a dumpster. It's just bad. What's his name? Pete Carmichael? Get him out of here. There's no way this offense is that solid, and they put up only 13 points in it. Bailey Rupi, he's been bad this year as well. 2-4 from field goal. I mean, he hasn't been that good, honestly, this year, in my opinion. He's looked kind of sus kicking the ball. But the Texans just hung on for his win. They didn't even do nothing too crazy, in my opinion, on offense. Like I said, y'all did pretty good against CJ Stroud. He threw for under 200 yards. Y'all forced a turnover. Devin Singletary or Gainey Pierce, none of them couldn't really get nothing too crazy going. Nico Collins had 80 yards. Dalton Schultz had 61. And he had a touchdown. He's been doing, like I said, he's been CJ Stroud's safety blanket this whole year. But this is really, honestly, the Texans hanging on, and the Saints just not executing in bad play calling. All right, moving on to the next game. We saw the Kansas City Chiefs. They defeated the Denver Broncos on Thursday night, 19-8.
This was another game that was held on to by the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs was in the driver's seat all game, don't get me wrong, but it looked like they was finna let Denver sneak back into it, but they didn't because of, Mr. Les Rod. He played terrible. I mean, he's bad, bro. He's bad. Under 100 yards and 2 picks. Terrible, bro. I mean, I'm taking Zach Wilson over you. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, that's just the truth. I'm going to be honest. I'm taking Zach Wilson over Russell Wilson at this point, bro. They both got Wilson, but I'm taking Zach over Russell. I'm gonna be honest. But Pat Mahomes did Pat Mahomes things, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm just still not sold about this Chiefs team right now. I mean, I still feel like they're gonna be a team that straightens it up down the line, but I'm not sold for them right now.
Russell Wilson was horrible. Don't get me wrong, but the receivers couldn't get no separation. Chiefs corners was putting hands on Jerry Jeudy and them boys all day. They could not get nowhere. Jalen Watson and them boys was all up in their face. So, I mean, they need to be better there. Mahomes and Kelsey connection is, I don't know how they do it. Kelsey just always open. He the real, I'm not going to lie, he the real 7-11. That man always open. I don't know how. Everybody know you got to find 87. Somehow 87 still open. But I think the Chiefs are pulling these games out. They're not being impressive, but they need to be more efficient. They need to finish off drives. I think that's their biggest issue right now. They're just not finishing off drives, but the defense has been playing amazing. Held Russell Wilson to under 100 yards passing. So, I mean, Chiefs still working on the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs at the end of the day. I'm not counting them out.
Again, if it wasn't for you having a great quarterback, the best quarterback in the league, the best tight end in the league, and a phenomenal, I think the best head coach in the league, the Chiefs, they lose this game because they did not look that great on offense. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Now, I'm not saying they got lucky. This Broncos team is just piss poor. They're trash. They're bad, putrid. Every synonym associated with the word horrible or bad. That's what the Broncos offense is. But I mean, Mahomes had a pick on the stat sheet, but he should have had 2. He should have had 3. One of them was dropped, but one of them was called back. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs got the win. Pacheco had a good game on the ground. Like Khalil said, Kelsey just always finds a way to be open. He just sits in open zone. Like I don't know how he does it. Like this man had over 120 yards receiving.
He literally does what he wants. If you listen to Pat Mahomes,
exactly,
he does what he can.
Literally.
And then Rashee Rice, good showing from him. 4 catches for over 70 yards. And this Broncos team going back to Denver, bro. Russell Wilson, I sold my stock in you. I'm sorry, bro. I had to give up on you, fam.
I've been telling you.
I had to give up on you, fam. You're doing really bad. But 100%, it's not your fault. These receivers you have aren't getting open. They're getting jammed up at the line. They're not creating separation. It just looked bad for this Broncos team, offensively and defensively. I don't get it. Next game we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. They defeated the New England Patriots 21-17.
2 pretty bad teams playing each other. The one better team out of the worst ones got the better of the other one. Takeaway I got from this game: how about Michael Mayer, man, coming out and giving 5 receptions and saying 5 yards as a rookie? I like seeing that, bro. I feel like he has a very, very, very nice ceiling, bro. He's gonna be a very good tight end in this league if he keeps it up and he stays healthy.
Both these teams are not good at the end of the day.
At all.
Game plan for the Raiders to win is just to stay in the game and let Max Crosby close out the game like he does so well. I mean, he just closes the games at the end of the day. He did it this game, and that's what pretty much got them the dub in this one.
Yeah, again, 2 bad teams. I mean, Garoppolo left with a back injury. In comes Brian Hoyer. He helps get the win. Josh Jacobs had a solid game on the ground. Tay Adams got popped. I mean, he got clamped up this game.
He got
Patriots defense. Yeah, smacked by Jabril Peppers. The Patriots contained him this game, even with all the injuries in secondary. But Michael Mayer has a solid game. Love that Dennis mentioned that. And then for the Patriots, I'm just going to say it now. I mean, Zeke and Vermondre had a touchdown apiece. Kendrick Bourne was your leading receiver, but Mac Jones just needs to be a bench at this point. I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, bring in either Malik Cunningham or Bailey Zappi. I'm calling for Mac Jones to get benched.
It's not the answer, bro.
Okay. That could be discussed in a different topic. All right, moving on into the next game. We saw the Los Angeles Rams. They handled the Arizona Cardinals 26-9 in the NFC West matchup.
Dennis, I'm gonna let you go. I just want to know what happened to your mans.
Puka Nacua. I mean, came out and he had his worst game all year. To be honest, 4 catches for 25 yards wasn't the best game for Puka Nacua. How about Cooper Kupp though, man, coming back and showing that he's still Cooper Kupp, bro? That he's still that guy. 7 catches for 148 and a ton. That's Cooper Kupp, bro. That's who he is. Man, I would love to see Puka Nacua come back and give the same production with Cooper Kupp in the lineup, bro. I feel like that is very dangerous. But like we said, the Rams went in there and got it done. Great day for Matt Stafford, per usual. How about Kyron Williams, though, the rookie out of Notre Dame, bro, with 158 rushing yards on 20 carries? I like that, bro. I like that. I liked Kyron Williams at Notre Dame. He's a playmaker. He comes into the league, and he continues to be a playmaker. I can't wait to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, Rams is just a better team out of these two teams. Cardinals aren't that good. They're frisky, but they're good. They was in a game in the first half, and then they was actually winning at halftime. And then, Rams pulled away as the better team should. Cooper Kupp did, Cooper Kupp did 148. Kyron Williams had 158 rushing. That's pretty much a ball game. Matt Stafford didn't turn over the football. So, they did what they had to do against a bad team.
Hey, Cardinals only put up 9 points. They couldn't really get nothing going on offense. They were leading at one point in this game, like Khalil said, but the Rams just pulled away. Love to see it from Cooper Kupp. Great game. Phenomenal. And then Kyron Williams on top of that. He looked great as well. Matt Stafford controlled the game, controlled the ball, didn't give it away. Good job by the Rams. They just beat up on a bad team, as they should. Moving on to the next game, we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars. They defeated the Indianapolis Colts and completed the season sweep 37-20 in the AFC South matchup.
I had Jacksonville getting the sweep, which they did. I'm going to start with them. I'm going to really talk about that offense mainly. I don't know what's really going on, but, I mean, if it wasn't for Indiana and their costly turnovers and their sloppy play on offense and their, terrible field position that they put themselves in, I mean, Jacksonville would have probably had a closer game. This offense is not clicking the way it did the first game of the season. I don't know what's going on. I wish I could see more. I like Trevor Lawrence, but, I mean, I'm not going to put it on him 100%. Again, his receivers has started to be lackluster. I don't know what's going on with them either, but Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, we forget he actually has a pretty good receiving core. He has a good surrounding cast around him for him to be successful. So the reason that this offense isn't going right, I don't know. I feel like they got to fix it, though. They got to figure something out. On Indiana's part, I'm going to be honest. I've been saying this before. Gardner Minshew cannot win a football game when he starts it. It doesn't happen. I'm going to be honest. Well, go look up how many Gardner Minshew has started that he won. He doesn't win most. I'm going to be honest. He's better coming in second half when somebody gets hurt, and he leads them to a win after that. I'm going to be honest. That's the best thing you're going to see from him. But I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Taylor. Why they're not giving him the rock more? That's kind of lackluster if you ask me, especially with the starting quarterback out. But, Indiana's not really that good of a team in general. But I expect more from Jacksonville offensively.
They do need to get Jonathan Taylor the ball more, but Jacksonville pretty much ran away with this game, start to finish, in my opinion. They was up 21-3. They never looked back. This offense still has some ways to go. I think they need to get in the habit of spreading the ball around more. They look a lot better when they spreading the ball around, getting the ball in their playmakers' hands than being more trying to get the ball to Calvin Ridley and letting Calvin Ridley make plays. Just let Trevor Lawrence make plays. Let Trevor Lawrence decide who get the ball, spread the ball around, and that's when this offense is at its best. They did what they had to do against a bad team.
Jacksonville defense forced a lot of turnovers game, as you made Minshew throw 3 picks. They handled that. They capitalized off turnovers. This offense by Jacksonville, like we all said, they don't look that good. Again, though, this is Khalil's MVP for the 2023 season. That's a prediction, but he gonna stand on it. He gonna stand on it. That's fine. Stand on it.
Fade on my predictions. Some people
that's fine.
Y'all say, but I stand on business. I'm standing on
it. But Trevor Lawrence did not look good this game. The receivers didn't really show up for him either. But to ETN, he got you 2 touchdowns on the ground. He didn't have a great game as well, but his longest run was probably half of those yards he got. But again, Jacksonville, they was beat up on a bad team with a backup quarterback. They need to give JT the ball more on any side of the ball, and the receivers definitely need to step up to help out Minshew. But because you win by Jacksonville. All right, last game we're gonna cover, the Miami Dolphins. They took away this game. They defeated the Carolina Panthers 42-21.
Just all around domination from the Dolphins. Don't really gotta say too much. If you watch the game, at least the first half, you seen what happened. So I mean, Dolphins is a great team. You know what their offense does? Their offense is flashy and they get it done. Another pretty good game from Tyreek Hill. He made a couple plays. Jalen Waddle made plays. Um, as long as this offense keeps it up and Tua stays healthy, they're gonna be a very, very tough team to reckon with.
Carolina jumped out early, 14-0 lead. And then, the track team took over and they did what they had to do. Tyreek Hill has been amazing. He's been the best receiver in the league this year. He has over 800 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. He's on pace for over 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. So he's been incredible. He's essentially unguardable. And this offense is all-world track team at the end of the day. I can't say enough about that offense.
Honestly, the Dolphins just executed. They did what they had to do. They let their players play. They beat up on a bad executing Panthers team. Tua looked pretty good. He had a solid, great game. Raheem Mostert added 2 touchdowns on the ground, over 100 yards rushing. And then Tyreek Hill, phenomenal. Like, he's literally the best player in the league. He's almost at 1,000 yards in only 6 games of the year. That's freaky crazy. And then for the Panthers, besides Adam Thielen, who else is going to do something on this offense? I'm tired of seeing it. They've been lackluster all year. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for NFL Week 6. Let us know in the comment section what y'all think about Week 6. Let us know if your team won. Let us know any surprises or upsets or shockers you guys seen from this past week. Let us know all that in the comment section below. All right, moving into our next topic, we're going to stick with the NFL. Like Dennis said, no team in the NFL was no longer undefeated, but we do have 5 teams in the NFL that are 5-1. So now rank these teams from worst to best out of whoever's 5-1. We're going to give our opinion on that.
Let's get it. At number 5, I got the Detroit Lions. Like I mentioned earlier, they really haven't played anybody. The one team that I guess the most impressive win has been the Chiefs, with they barely skated by with that one without their best pass catcher in Travis Kelce and their best pass rusher and best defensive player in Chris Jones. They barely skated by that one. But other than that, they haven't had too many impressive wins for me. A lot of people have raving about this team. I'm not as big of a fan as everybody else, but I got them at number 5. They are 5-1. At number 4, I got the Eagles. They're just very concerning. They pass defense still is to be desired. They haven't been able to get the right momentum going on offense with the new coordinators. It sucks when you lose your offense and defensive coordinators. You have some things to work on. Y'all just been having some issues, but these next few games, y'all biggest test, they're gonna figure out. We're gonna see exactly where this team is offensively and defensively against some very good teams they have coming up. Number 3, I got the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. They just, I don't know, they just found ways to do it. This team is a team that could arguably be undefeated. Like I said, the one loss, there was a 1-point loss without their top 2 or 3 best players on their team not playing in that game. Who knows if those 2 guys plays, they probably pull that game out. They still had a chance to pull that game out if it wasn't for some costly drops within that first game. But this Chiefs team just finds a way to win. At the end of the day, you'd never count this Chiefs team out. I doesn't matter who they play. I feel like they can compete with any team out there. At number 2, I'm gonna go to 49ers. Like I said, Brock Purdy, I'm just not sold on Brock Purdy. If Trent Williams is not healthy, if Christian McCaffrey not healthy, if Debo not healthy, whatever the case may be, I don't trust this 49ers offense. I'm be honest with you. They have a very good defense, don't get me wrong. But if a couple key pieces are missing, I don't think you have a good enough quarterback to take you over the top like some of these other teams. But as a well-rounded roster, when healthy, they've looked the best. I'm not going to look past this one game when they, lost essentially 3 of their best offensive weapons. They still look the best in every other game, especially when healthy. But at number 1, I'm going to go to Dolphins. The Dolphins has looked phenomenal in every single game. The only game that they had that was bad was a divisional matchup against the Buffalo Bills, who always played them tough. Josh Allen had an amazing day in that game. But besides that, what they looked phenomenal in every single game. This offense pretty much essentially looked unguardable, especially when healthy. The lowest amount of points they put up this year is, 20. They put up 36 points, 24 points, 70 points, 20, 31, 42. So this offense could score with the best of them. Their defense does have some flaws, don't get me wrong. Their defense does have some holes. But unless you're a team that can put up points, you're probably not going to beat the Dolphins. So I got them at number 1.
All right, I'm gonna go next, man. Coming in at number 5, I got the Detroit Lions as well. And the team has looked good. They have, despite all the injuries on their defense, especially, and now David Montgomery being out, this team has looked pretty good. Jared Goff is playing at a really good level. He's a sleeper MVP candidate, in my opinion. People don't talk about him, but he's putting out. He don't start putting y'all on notice if he keeps putting up these same numbers. But again, this Lions team, one of their wins, like Khalil said, came off of the Chiefs just dropping the ball and be without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce. But at the end of the day, they're still 5-1, still playing good and executing. Dan Campbell got them boys playing every week. At number 4, I got the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Being an Eagles fan, that loss yesterday really put a bad taste in every Eagles fan's mouth. It was disappointing to watch. Like Khalil mentioned as well, you got 2 new coordinators. It's kind of tough. They're new coming into the team. Things might not be the same, but we're in 6 weeks. This team has not put together a complete football game on all 3 levels of football, offensively, defensively, and special teams. We still get to see that, but the team is still 5-1. But they got to get it together. At number 3, I got the Kansas City Chiefs as well. This Chiefs team, it's just they're confusing me. They're confusing a lot of people. They haven't found their identity for some reason. They haven't put it all together though. They've been very concerning. They've been sneaking out and escaping in wins. I don't know what it really is. I don't know if it's lack of trust and confidence in Mahomes with his receivers besides Travis Kelce, or is it this defense, or I really just don't know. But the Chiefs, they're 5-1, but it's like a concerning 5-1. But they're slightly better than the Eagles right now. At number 2, I got the San Francisco 49ers. At one point before this loss, the Niners were the best team in NFL. But I'm going to agree with Khalil. When Brock Purdy has no weapons, he's showing that he can't really execute things. Again, maybe it's just a bad game. Maybe we got to see him actually play without weapons for a full game. But besides that last game against the Browns this past weekend, the 49ers still look like a really good, complete football team. It was just that game had shown a lot. It rains and pours for the 49ers, and that's what happened. But number 1, got to give it to the Miami Dolphins. They still have some holes on that defense, but their offense has been phenomenal this year. Besides that bad game against the Bills 2 weeks ago, they still look like a great team. We talked about Tyreek Hill. We talked about Tua. We talked about Raheem Mostert and Cheney. And they're getting Jalen Ramsey back.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. But I'm saying they still look good up to this point. And don't forget, they're getting Jalen Ramsey coming back soon. He is targeting an early return. So I got the Dolphins at 1. It's only right.
I'm shocked.
All right, for my 5, at number 5, I have the Detroit Lions, just like you guys. Like Khalil mentioned before, they only have 1 win over an actual legit playoff team, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. But other than that, they have been dominating. Their offense have looked good, but they also hasn't played anybody too good. I do want to see them get more tested, see what they're really about against these better teams. At number 4, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Like we all mentioned, the Chiefs have honestly just been squeaking away. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not too sold on this team yet, but I know this is gonna be a dangerous team come December. So I'm not sleeping on this team at all. I'm only talking from rankings as of right now. This will definitely be probably a top 2 team around December time. I know that for a fact. That's just how superstar quarterbacks roll. And this is the best quarterback in the game we talking about. It's just some of their pieces just haven't been looking like pieces. Travis Kelce hasn't been the same Travis Kelce since he got injured.
What?
But, nah.
He put up 124.
What?
He just put up 124.
Yeah. That's his first time putting up over 100 yards since he got hurt.
He got injured last week.
He missed 1 week.
He got injured last week.
Yeah, he got injured again.
He did get injured last week. You are right. He did get injured last week. He's having injury problems too. It's still, whether he's not playing good or having injury problems, he's still not the same Travis Kelce we used to. Bro, let's be real. By last year,
he about to be 35.
By this time last year, Travis Kelce had about 550 yards, bro.
He might be 35. Injuries gonna catch up to you at that age.
It is getting about that time with Travis Kelce, bro. And don't get me wrong, he's still the best tight end in the league. He's still the best tight end in the league, but it's getting about that time if you ask me. At number 3, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. another team that, again, this next 7 games is going to show a lot. It's going to show a lot about who the team actually is, if they're really that dog of a team or if they just a bunch of people that just beat up on a bunch of teams that really aren't too good. Now, don't get me wrong, they have kind of just like the Chiefs, they've been squeaking away wins. The only issue is y'all brought it up. I mean, y'all said it, bro. It's getting kind of tough with these 2 new coordinators. I think we done seen the most arguing between this team than I've ever seen. I've never seen so much bickering and backering on the sideline from the offense and defense, and just how much they're not happy with certain things. Some stuff need to get put in place. Some things need to get actually put together better if they want to move forward and get higher on this list. They have the potential, but it's the NFL. You can't live off potential. They got to do it. So at number 2, I have the San Francisco 49ers for the same reasons that y'all put them there. Just Brock Purdy, really. That's the most well-rounded team, but Brock Purdy just can't do it without his playmakers, as we've seen. I'm going to be honest. I feel like that's something that's going to be regular for him. I like Brock Purdy. I've been saying this. I do like him, but I do still feel like he's an average quarterback. I like him, but he's still an average quarterback at the end of the day, and average quarterbacks just can't get it done without their playmakers. And at number 1, rightfully so, is the Dolphins right now. Like, they're another team that I honestly was going to put the 49ers over them again. But I got to put them up there just because of the wins and the dominant fashion that they had. I'm going to be honest, the 49ers really haven't dominated anybody too much either, other than the Cowboys. They really punched the Cowboys.
They dominated Pittsburgh.
I feel like that was more. Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh, though. I'll be honest with you. They're not really too good. They did. But other than that, the Cowboys, bro, I'm going to be honest, I feel like the Cowboys gave them more of that game than the 49ers took, if you ask me. But that is my top 5. I feel like the Dolphins do deserve to be number 1, though, and they've shown offensively, like I said, the defense has been shaky, but they are about to get one of their key pieces back and one of the best DBs in the league, and Jalen Ramsey back. So we'll see how good this team actually gets better.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, those are our top 5 teams that are 5-1 that are remaining going into week 7. Let us know in the comment section who your top 5 teams that are 5-1 are. Let us know how you guys will rank them. All right, moving on to the next topic of the night, college football week 7. It was a crazy week 7. Let's get into it. This is some good-ass games. First game we're going to talk about, Pac-12 matchup. As number 7, Washington, they outlasted the Oregon Ducks 36-33.
All 3 of us took Oregon in this. We all got upset in this 0-3. But what a hell of a game, bro, all around. So it's a back-and-forth game
Great game.
All game, it was back and forth. I mean, if you watch it, you could kind of say that Washington was kind of in the driver's seat most of the game, but that's only because they was winning for most of the game. I wouldn't say they was actually dominating. It wasn't dominating at all. They was throwing haymakers back and forth, man. It was such a great game. Hats off to both teams. Hats off to both quarterbacks who came out and balled out. We don't even know what the injury status on my appendix is, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be straight to come back next week, banged up or not. But it was just a great win by Washington, great play by Oregon, and yeah.
I'd say Oregon lost this game more than Washington won this game. Oregon had the opportunities to win the game. They should have won this game. Offensively, they played very good. They ran the ball exceptionally, went over 200 yards on 40 carries. Bo Nix had him a solid day, throwing for 337 and 2 tutties. But it just came down to a couple crucial coaching mishaps. You go for it on 4th down, you don't get it. You miss out on points at the end of the half. 3 points can go a long way. That 3 points could have, been a difference between maybe overtime or you guys winning this game. You miss a game time field goal at the end of the game. Like I said, bro, a couple mishaps here and there in this game, and we'll be talking about this game in a different light. We'll be talking about how Oregon pulled it off and how they went into Washington and beat this team. I have this being the Pac-12 championship, so I think this is also a preview of what we're going to get in a Pac-12 championship, and I also think it's going to be a different outcome. I do think Oregon is the better team. They look like the better team for most of this. They did look like the better team. It's just a lack of execution. But when the rubber needed to meet the road, they made it happen until the end of the game. and they salted it away. But I think what it was as well, Dan Lanning was just trying to be way too aggressive. Punt the football, make Washington drive the football at the end of the game. No, you go for a fourth down near midfield. You don't get it, and now they have a short field to work with. They go down, score a touchdown. You got to go down. You got to make a field goal. You miss a field goal. Like I said, if that didn't happen, we could be talking about a different outcome.
I'm gonna agree with you. First off, about saying this, I think this is gonna be the Pac-12 championship. Now, again, we all did pick Oregon. We did, but Oregon should have won this game. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Those going forward on fourth down and the lack of execution and bad coaching calls, it cost Oregon this game. And Washington, they just capitalized off those turnovers. And if it wasn't for a game time field goal to take this game to overtime, who knows how this game would have went if they went to overtime. Let's just start with Oregon. Bo Nix had a great game. I'm not even gonna blame this game on him. He had a solid game in my opinion. I don't think he really did too much wrong in this game.
I told you.
Bucky Irvin. Yeah, I mean, he's okay. Bucky Irvin had over 100 yards, almost 130 yards. He had a touchdown. Jordan James had a touchdown as well. Troy Franklin is really, really nice.
Dog.
He's good. He's a dog. 8 catches, $154 with a touchdown. That was really good. But just Oregon's defense, it kind of sold them. Washington has the best receiving coordination, and it showed. Michael Penix Jr., great game. He had over 300 yards passing, a little bit under than what Bo Nix had, but he threw 4 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but Dylan Johnson had a great game running the ball as well, 100 yards and touchdown. Rome Odunze, Oregon defense could not hold his man jockstrap. 8 for 128 and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Polk had over 100 yards receiving as well and a touchdown. And then Giles Jackson had a touchdown as well. Honestly, this is an offensive shootout. We said this is going to be a great game. And I feel like crucial moments cost the Oregon's game, especially the game time field goal. But I definitely see this being a Pac-12 championship rematch. All right, moving on into the next game. We saw a beatdown as Notre Dame defeated USC 40-28, as Khalil predicted SC will be the first team to suffer a loss that was undefeated in the previous episode.
I mean, what do we call this, bro? We call this belt to ass, don't we? I mean, we knew that this was going to happen. We seen this coming. All three of us seen this coming. We knew USC has a very good offense, but their offense has looked a little lackluster against mediocre defenses. We knew what this Notre Dame defense looked like. Their offense really didn't do the best. I'm going to be honest with you. Their offense really didn't do the best, but USC put them in position to win that game. Plain and simple. USC put them in position for them to go out and just totally dominate, and that's exactly what they did. Sam Hartman, he played a game that was, I mean, I'm not going to say he did the best. His stats wasn't the best, but it was flawless as far as he didn't turn the ball over. That's what I wanted to see out of Sam Hartman, and that's what I said before going in the game. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, they'll do exactly what they did. But how about Caleb Williams and his worst QB performance that we've seen since he's touched the field? I mean, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 picks. QBR of 55.7. That is the worst we've seen Caleb Williams play since he's entered college. Just a bad game overall by the whole team. Good win by Notre Dame.
I kind of foretold this. Not even this week. I've been saying this since even before the season started. What this SC team was. Some people were high on this SC team. I never was. Told you they had a very good defense, very suspect offense. It's only a matter of time. They was beating up on bad teams. The whole 9 yards. They're struggling against some decent teams. But I told you, once they test come, and this was their first real test, and I said this weeks ago, like when Notre Dame lost to Ohio State, I told y'all Notre Dame was going to go beat SC at home. Caleb Williams threw 3 interceptions in the first half, and what Notre Dame do with those 3 interceptions, capitalized with touchdown. They turned those 3 interceptions to 21 points. That was pretty much your ball game, going up 24-3 into half, and they really just essentially never looked back. And I said this as well. I said, what do this team looks like when they finally play against a good defense, one of the top defenses in college football, and a very good, very solid offense. And yeah, the offensive numbers don't look that too eye-popping. Is because they just capitalized on short field opportunities. It's not like Sam Hartman had the opportunity to go out there and throw for 350 because they had short fields. and they did what they had to do. Estimate didn't have to run for $150 because they had short fields. They just took the opportunities that SC allotted to them, and they capitalized and they scored points off of it. And I told you before, this SC team is not that good. There's a reason why they was winning and dropping in the rankings. So hats off to Notre Dame for that big one.
I'm going to start with Notre Dame. Like Dennis said, Sam Hartman, he just took care of the football. He didn't have to do too much. I mean, he threw 2 touchdowns, but Aldrich Estimate had almost 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. But Notre Dame's defense was the reason why they won this game. USC definitely handed in this game. Caleb Williams had his worst game ever as a collegiate quarterback. These receivers for USC couldn't get nothing going, which was very surprising. But it's also not surprising when you have a defense like Notre Dame. Notre Dame has played great defense all year, besides some games like against Louisville and stuff. But this is just bad on USC all around. And then the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed all year long. We've been saying this since week 1. The defense is very, very sus. Their offense can put up points, but their defense is suspect. This happens when you're a Lincoln Riley coach-led team. But just, again, hats off to Notre Dame. Great game. Fight on down. All right, moving on to the next game in the SEC matchup. We saw unranked Missouri take down number 24 ranked Kentucky 38-21.
Man, like I was saying, bro, this Missouri team is actually good, bro. This is not a bad Missouri team. And they went and got the job done exactly what I thought they was going to do in Kentucky. A couple takeaways from this game. Missouri's offense didn't really play the best. They didn't play up to par the way they was the first couple weeks of the season. Luther Burton really didn't get anything going like he's been, but we know what he could do. They got a lot of other playmakers involved, like Theo Wise and Marquise Johnson. But I mean, the offense really didn't do the best. Whole time, it really was just Kentucky and their bad play. And I'm gonna be honest, their sloppy play on offense. Devin Lowry did not play what I thought he was gonna play at all. He only threw for 120, had 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Recipe for L right there. His picks was very costly at the times. They did get the run game going though. Watching that game, they did have some very good runs with their running back. His name's Davis, I think. Roy Davis, like that. Ray Davis. But he's actually pretty good. He's not bad at all. Overall, good win by Missouri. I still feel like they're competing. They have a competing record right now. I don't feel like they're gonna get it done, but they still have a competing record. I think they are bowl eligible at this time.
I kind of said what's gonna happen. This Kentucky offense just has not been good all year. Devin Lurie has not been good all year. He had 2 interceptions. He had 2 fumbles as well. They just didn't lose them. They did have another fumble that they did lose by Baron Davis, but this Kentucky offense just has, like I said, has not been good. It's been pretty much Ray Davis or bust. And if Ray Davis not going crazy, I just don't see no bright side to this offense, And Brady Cook did not have the biggest day, but he still had he did not have a day like he had before. He do 167, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like you said, Luther Burden didn't really have a big day either. Receiving, he had 2 catches, 15 yards. But they went out there, they took care of business, they did what they had to do. They capitalized on the opportunities and the mishaps that Kentucky gave them. And I'm not gonna lie, I got that Missouri and Georgia game circled in 3 weeks. Can't wait to see what that looks like, especially with no Brock Brown.
Cap.
No cap.
Let's see it.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, honestly, I said this last episode. Hey, he's from Jersey. I mess with him, Devin Leary, but he has been inconsistent and he can't stop turning the ball over. Those 2 interceptions were costly. He fumbled twice, like you said, Khalil, but he didn't lose them, thankfully. But I agree with Khalil. This offense has been Ray Davis or bust, as he had almost 130 yards on the ground. But their receivers did not step up for Kentucky at all. Missouri's defense played really good against this Kentucky offense, which has been lackluster this year. We saw some bright spots. Yes, Kentucky is 5-2, but they're not like respectable 5-2. But again, we talk about Brady Cook. He threw for 170 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Corey Schrader had a good game rushing the ball. Luther Burden had a quiet day, but Theo Wees Jr., he's a transfer from Oklahoma. He had a solid game receiving. Honestly, this is really just Missouri capitalizing on Kentucky's offense's turnovers, and that's what happened. That's what caused them to get the win. Moving on into the next game, we saw Oregon State defeat UCLA in a Pac-12 matchup, 36-24.
I got Oregon State for this win. They came out and they got the job done. I really put this L a lot on their quarterback, Dante Moore. He played terrible. 3 picks, 1 touchdown, only threw 465 yards. It was just a bad game offensively. Even though Carson Steele, he's a pretty good running back, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I like what I've been seeing from Carson Steele all season. He's honestly been picking up that whole run game because, as we know, UCLA never really has a pretty good run game, but their running back is actually pretty good this year. I like from what I'm seeing. Or Oregon State side, man, DJ comes out and he still plays good, bro. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of people that was sleeping on him because of his performance, his last performance at Clemson. But he is showing this season that he is still a top quarterback in the nation. I'm gonna be honest with you. He has not been bad at all. He hasn't showed too many flaws in his game too much. He's still on a team that's 6-1 right now, ranked 15th in the nation. Actually, they might have went up, if I'm not mistaken. He's not looking that bad. He's definitely not looking as bad as he looked his final year at Clemson. He's taking care of the football more. He's being more efficient. I like what I'm seeing out of DJ, and it's resulting in wins for not the best Oregon State team, if you ask me, but they're better than they was in previous years.
Yeah, Oregon State is ranked 12th now.
12. There you go.
Yeah, they're ranked 12th in the nation right now. But down to those 3 interceptions. After the 2 interceptions, they were still in the game. It was still a competitive ball game of 16-10. And then that pick 6 late in the second quarter pretty much
hurt
them. Pretty much from that point on, they pretty much ran away with this game. They was up 23-10 going into halftime and never looked back, held on to the lead to win this game. And like you said, DJ is a solid quarterback. I don't think he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Nothing. He's definitely not what he should have been, but he's a very solid quarterback. He's played a lot of football games in college now. He's a veteran quarterback within college football. He knows how to play. He knows how to win games. And that's the one thing I was banking on going into this game is that, the experience that DJ has in these type of games, is going to propel him. And also the youth of Dante Moore in these big games, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. We've seen him in another big game against Utah throw a pick 6 first play of the game and only score 7 points. So this is a young, true freshman quarterback starting. He's going to have his lumps and bruises, and he's just playing veteran teams that's going to take advantage of that.
Definitely Oregon State capitalized and executed on freshman quarterback Dante Moore's mistakes. Like Khalil just said, this is a raw freshman quarterback. He's going to make these errors. He's going to make these mistakes. And, Oregon State, they just capitalized on him. He threw 3 picks, had under 200 yards passing. Carr still had a great game running the ball, though. The receivers really didn't do too much helping Dante Moore out, but he did throw 3 picks still. After that bad loss against Washington State, Oregon State definitely stepped it up. Look back after that loss. They kept moving forward. And DJ Uiagalelei, he's playing good this year. I mean, he showed he could still win these games. He had almost 270 passing, 2 touchdowns. Damian Martinez had a solid day running the ball. Silas Bolden, he looked pretty good out there. This is just an Oregon State team that's just going to execute when other teams make turnovers, and they're going to keep moving and executing, and that's what they do best. All right, moving on into the next game, we got an ACC matchup. As number 25 ranked Miami, they took a loss to North Carolina, 41-31.
I ain't gonna lie, this was a pretty good game. Good game on both ends of the field. I'm gonna be honest with you. Miami, they came out and they, I thought they was gonna actually, they went and punched them in the mouth early. UNC got on top early, but second quarter is really where Miami came back and they showed what they could do. They started stalling out towards the end. They did go into the lead into halftime, but UNC ended up pulling away, and that was mainly because of their big-time scorer. Playing the second game, bro, they could not stop him, and he seemed like he was the deciding factor in this game. Tez Walker put up 132 and 3 touchdowns, comes and shows why he can be a guy in the nation. And if he would have played all season, I honestly, I'm surprised on what he would really do if he played all year, bro. Tez Walker, we know he's a dog, but I mean, to come out in your second game and really put it on Miami the way he did, bro. Like I said, he was the biggest deciding factor in this game, if you ask me. And Tyler Van Dyke also had him a game, and them 2 costly picks is what did it. It was them 2 costly picks is what really did it for them. But, I mean, good win by UNC. They stuck it through, and they ended up beating a pretty good Miami team at the end of the day.
Well, I kind of foretold that the difference maker in this game would be Tez Walker, and it was like you said, he went for 132 and 3 tutties.
Yeah, you did say that.
I did said Drake May having him was going to be big. But I think it really just came down to, really that third quarter is pretty much what blew this game out the water. It was a close game. Like you mentioned, Miami was up 17-14 going into the halftime. And then UNC comes out, scored 3 touchdowns and pretty much, sought this ball game away. I think that's what the biggest difference was. UNC, Drake May had him a solid game. Like I said, I like him, don't love him. I don't think he's the second best quarterback going into the draft. I'm not that high on him when it comes to that. But he did go for 230, 273 and 3 tutties. Amarion Hampton had him a day with 197 yards on the ground and a touchdown as well. And that's pretty much what put this game away was Tez Walker in the second half and the execution that Miami came out with and the execution that UNC came out with and the adjustments they made at halftime pretty much put this game away.
Honestly, don't got much more to say than what you guys already said. You guys already hit the nail on the head with the hammer. Tez Walker, love to see it. Second game back, had a trifecta. Amari Hampton had almost 200 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. Great game. But Drake May, I keep telling you about Drake May. I think he's a really solid quarterback. In my opinion, I think he's the second or third best quarterback heading into the 2024 draft. He can keep it up. His draft stock is only going up. As his team ranked for 10, his draft stock is going to keep going up. And they're 6-0 heading into next week. So good game by Drake May. Good game by Tez Walker. Tyler Van Dyke, those interceptions were really costly. But besides those interceptions, he had a great game. Xavier Restrepo, he can show why he's a good receiver, had 2 touchdowns. Jacoby George had a touchdown as well and over 120. And Rashard Smith, he added 90 yards and a touchdown. But again, those Miami turnovers, they gave UNC this win and good adjustments in the second half by UNC to get.
The second turnover don't really matter. It was just the one, honestly. The second one came at the last play of the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
I had a couple things I wanted to touch base on, but I'm gonna keep it short and just give y'all this one simple question: what do y'all think is gonna go on with the SEC in these next couple weeks? As we honestly already talked about, the SEC is kind of still wide open. We got Georgia, who's looking like a weak team, and they just lost their best player. We got Alabama, who's not looking like the regular Alabama, but still only has 1 loss and is sneaking away through games. LSU is a roller coaster team. Missouri only still has 1 loss, and it's pretty. They beating up on some pretty bad teams, but they're not bad as a team at all. We got Tennessee, who's still ranked and only has 1 loss. I mean, Ole Miss is still a good football team. I mean, what do y'all think is next for the SEC, man? What y'all think is going to happen? This is going to be I think this is really a conference that's going to shake up a lot in the next couple of weeks.
Honestly, I'll kick this one off, man. I really don't know. I can't answer this because this is the weakest Georgia team we've seen in a while, actually. I don't like what I'm seeing. I mean, you mentioned that he lost Brock Bowers as he's out for the season. As he's going to have tight ankle rope surgery. That really hurts this Georgia team, as he was obviously probably one of the best players in the nation. But this is a wide open SEC, like you said. I mean, but only thing is, I'm still going to trust Georgia with it because Alabama, they're sneaking away winning games. You're not going to beat a team like Georgia just sneaking and winning games. Ole Miss, they lost to Bama already, so I don't see them compete with teams like Georgia. Tennessee, they're ranked number 17 right now, but I don't think Tennessee can get the job done against Georgia. LSU, like you said, they're on a roller coaster. They dropped out of the top 10, and Missouri, they're ranked number 20. So who knows? I'm gonna still give the edge to Georgia, but it's not like by a wide margin. It's really close. I'll say Georgia's like
Alabama.
Exactly. I mean, Georgia's not running away with this conference. They should be, but they haven't looked as good as we thought they were going to look.
I mean, I'll put it like this. They're the only conference in the AP top 25 that don't have multiple teams in the top 10. So that just goes to show you how not dominant these teams have been, as like Georgia's number 1 because they're back-to-back champions and the whole 9 yards. But, they have their flaws. They just lost their best player for 4 to 6 weeks. So we don't know what they're going to look like if they're going to escape through all these teams that they got coming up with, Missouri and Tennessee and stuff like that coming up in a few weeks. So that's a question to be had. Bama has Tennessee coming up this week. So, if they lose, they're pretty much out as well. So, I mean, there's a possibility. I don't know, but there might be a possibility that no SEC team makes the playoffs.
For the first time since the playoff era.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact, though, because all of these SEC teams have a chance to get 1 or 2 losses. Most of them already got 1.
Yeah, honestly, this conference is up and down. It's just the most bad I won't say bad. It's just the most competitive we've seen in a while. Besides at least 1 or 2 or 3 teams like running away with this conference. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know what y'all think about college football week 7 as we are over halfway through the season. Man, this football season is flying by fast already. We're heading into week 8. Tune in to episode 24 on Friday to see our picks. But let us know what y'all think about college football week 7. Give us if we didn't cover or talk about a team that is y'all favorite team, let's know how they did in the comment section. Just give y'all overall analysis of week 7 for college football. All right, moving into the last topic of the night. We're gonna move into the NBA. The Denver Nuggets, they were your 2022 NBA champions. Let us know which team y'all think can dethrone them and prevent them from repeating back-to-back as we go into the 2023 season. I'm going to kick this one off first. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say the Boston Celtics. I'm not being biased either. I don't want to hear no biased comments. Oh, you're a Celtics fan, that's why. No, I'm just going to keep it a buck, man. Celtics last year in the playoffs, they looked really, really shaky. Let's be real. I feel like Atlanta gave them a fit in the first round. Philly should have beat them in 5 or 6 in the second round, but JC had a great game 6 to propel them, and he had a great game 7. Then you go to 7 with Miami, but the last game was just a disaster. The first 3 games were a disaster as you went down 3-0, but you come back as high as 3-3, but you couldn't execute in game 7. But I feel like when this Boston team is clicking on all cylinders, this is a great team. You add Porzingis, you bring in Jrue Holiday, you let go Marcus Smart and Malcolm Brogdon, you keep Derek White, you bring back Peyton Pritchard, let go Rob Williams. This still is a great team. As long as you got JT and JB, the J&J firm, as long as both of them are on. But that's the thing, though. They both have to be on. When they're both on, this is one of the best teams in the league, without a doubt. Now, can they compete with Denver? Yes. It's just I worry about the big man aspect, who can fuck with Jokic. But other than that, I'm just going to say the Celtics. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, Boston's probably one of the most complete, well-rounded teams. They have depth. They have what it takes. And another thing that's concerning for the Boston Celtics is coaching. Joe Mazzulla, I'm not fully sold on him, even though he went to the Eastern Conference Finals in his first year last year. Not fully sold on him. I feel like the team really misses Ime Udoka, but he's now in Houston coaching that very well young Rockets team. But I'm just going to say the Boston Celtics, man. I'm not even being biased. My second team would have been the Bucks, but I'm just going to stick with the Celtics as I think the Celtics slightly edge out the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because it's the same team as you. I still think the Denver Nuggets are the best team in the league in my eyes. But if there was a team that I feel like can evenly match up with them, it is the Boston Celtics at this time. Before that trade with Jrue Holiday, I wouldn't have picked them. But I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Jrue Holiday is good enough a defender to at least give Jamal Murray a little run as far as the defender goes. I'm going to be honest with you. We know Jamal Murray is going to do his thing regardless. We know he's going to score. We know he's pretty much unguardable. But we also know that Jrue Holiday is probably, if not the best, one of the best defending point guards in the league. And I feel like that's
100%.
something that's going to be that could be great as far as playing them. Again, like you said, size is a thing. But at the same time, I feel like the Celtics have enough firepower and enough star power to overtake that little bit of size that they are lacking. And it's only a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not like Al Horford can't cover. Al Horford does play great defense. Like, don't get me wrong. He's type old, and I might cringe every time he shoots the ball. But he is a good defender. Not saying that he can stick with Jokic all day because Jokic is that guy. Again, like I said it last year, Jokic is gonna be Jokic. He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna give you 20 attempts at least. It's gonna happen. You just gotta try to minimalize it, and you gotta have something that's going to counter that. So you gotta have your JT and JB shooting. They gotta do their thing, and you gotta have people that's gonna at least be able to at least get some rebounds. You gotta at least try to out rebound them, which is gonna be hard. But
well, that's why you got Kristaps Porzingis.
I know. That's why I said y'all got Porzingis now. So Porzingis is another good option for them. I feel like the Celtics is probably the best team that could do it.
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna actually focus on
other than the New York Knicks. You heard?
Anyway, I'm gonna actually focus on the team that's in their conference that can stop them from even making the final or shut down that moment kind of early. And that's the Phoenix Suns, you know.
I don't need to say that.
I
Yeah.
was thinking them too. That was my number 2.
I was.
With the firepower that they got of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, I mean, these guys was going for 40 last series against them. The issue was they didn't have nobody else to come along with them to help them out. And then you add a Bradley Beal, another guy that could give you 20 to 25 points. My issue is going to be with the playmaking that they have, but they have, you know, with those three, you know, any one of them can get a bucket. You go out there, you trade for Yusuf Nurkic, a big body guy, can bang with Jokic more than DeAndre Ayton could. He just don't have enough bricks in the back pocket when it came down to it. You know, they have some very good role players with Grayson Allen and Eric Gordon, some shooters. Grayson Allen can play defense as well. Grayson Allen is also a 40% three-point shooter, so he's going to add something. I like Bol. He's a little thin, but, you know, if he can stay healthy, he can be a great addition to this team. You got Watanabe, another guy that's a sleeper. He's a very good shooter as well. So they have a bunch of scoring on the court that can, you know, outscore any team out there. The question is they going to be able to stop anybody? If they can, you know, play some remnants of a defense and, you know, give some quality looks on defense, I think this team can be a problem and knock off this Denver Nuggets team.
That was my second choice, so I agree, to be honest.
These are all solid teams. I mean, we didn't mention the Milwaukee Bucks, we didn't mention the Lakers, but still, these are all teams. Like, all these teams compete. We know the top 5 to 10 teams in this league, but again, we don't know who can knock off the Nuggets. I mean, they had a really good season last year, a really good coach team, really great team in general.
Shit, Dallas, if they get their stuff together,
who knows? The season starts in a couple weeks, man. Y'all got to tune in this year. It's gonna be a great year. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the NBA. Let us know in the comment section who y'all think can stop the Denver Nuggets from repeating in 2023. Give us y'all top 3 teams. I'm gonna say that. Give us y'all top 3. Don't just give us one like we gave y'all one. Give us 3. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of tonight, episode 23 for Before the Horn podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in for whatever platform you are watching or listening on. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the support we've been getting. Make sure y'all keep running these numbers up, man. We love putting out content for you guys.
Yeah, and for as little as $2 a month, you guys could do your part supporting us and joining our Patreon. We are a self-funded podcast, meaning that we do work our regular 9 to 5s, but we take out of our free time to give y'all all of this content and do what we love. So any support we would love regardless. Also, Patreon is the best way to get discounts on merch when we drop our hats and shirts. They're coming real soon. So that's the best way to get discounts, as well as free merch, free hats and shirts. Everybody like free things. And if you would like to interact with us personally, you want to give your personal input, let us know how you feel personally. Patreon is the best way to go. That's where we interact the most with our fans. So any way that you guys want to support us more, Patreon is the best way to go. But we do appreciate every bit of support you guys give.
Thanks.
Yeah, keep showing love to us on our social platforms at Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast, TikTok and Twitter at Before the Horn Pod. We appreciate the love and support that we've been getting. Continue to interact with us. We will be having a couple of things dropping very soon, our top 10s list. So be sure to interact on those lists. Let us know who's your top 10 on those lists as well, who you agree with, who got the best list, who got the worst list. And you, like I said, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your cat, tell your dog, tell your fish, follow us. You know, keep showing love. We appreciate all the love we've been getting so far.
Again, thank y'all for tuning into episode 23. Also, make sure you guys follow us on our personal Instagrams. They're on the screen, as they will also be in the description box. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for tuning in to Before the Horn Podcast, episode 23.
Yes, sir.